Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So we have got stages 5 and 6 of the Flamme Rouge Racing Tour Watopia, and these courses just keep getting more and more difficult as the week goes on. And obviously this is my 5th and 6th day in a row of cycling, so I'm feeling very fatigued at the moment. And this is the Queen stage, so we have got the Alpe Du Zwift in one of the new courses called Accelerate to Elevate. And yeah, really looking forward to this one because you've got around about 40 minutes and 4 sprints before the actual Alpe Du Zwift. So it's so brutal, and especially after doing the Innsbruck course yesterday, the legs just were not happy. So as we come through the first sprint here, my tactics today were really just to, finish up as high as I possibly could. Now, I know that seems like probably a bit of a rubbish tactic, but you just don't know, or I just didn't know how I was going to feel on the bike before, getting on again. And I didn't have a particularly good night's sleep the night before racing this one. So, I don't know, the excuses were there ready. And for those of you that remember the Tour France video, I absolutely bonked up the Alpe Du Zwift. So, for me, this was I was kind of looking for a little bit of redemption here. And just to, as I say, just to do my best really, because I'm doing not so bad in GC. I'm quite happy with my position at the moment. But I didn't know how these kind of initial sprints would make me climb up the Alpe. That's why I wasn't really going too hard, but you can still see here as we come through, I think, the second sprint, that my power, I still raise my power for the sprints because I still want to make sure that I stay within the bunch. But yeah, an absolutely brutal course, but thoroughly enjoyable, and I'll take you all the way up the Alpe in a minute. But yeah, this is the third sprint coming through here, so I'm just making sure once again that I'm staying as far forward, and then if I slip back during the sprint, I'm not, hopefully off the back, and I've still got an opportunity to get back in and just maybe take a little bit of rest in the pack before the Alpe. So here we go, we're actually going up the Alpe now. That must have been the 4th sprint, and I just wanted to see how the legs were before deciding on what's to actually do, because up the Innsbruck KOM yesterday, I actually managed to do around 270, which I knew, this was going to take me roughly about an hour, so I knew that wasn't really going to be achievable. So for me, at this point, I'm like, right, anything between 230 and 250, maybe if I can sit at 240, that'll do me absolutely fine. It'll be roughly about an hour, just over an hour if I do that. So yeah, jobs are good, but I was in a lot of pain. It's the early corners after like those few sprints. I was not feeling good at all, and I thought I was going to have another one of these moments where I just absolutely bonk and I'm doing 170 watts. But it was really weird. I kind of, around about this point, I kind of felt like I had a bit of a rhythm going. My cadence was set around, between 75 and 80, which was a little bit, I would say, higher than I normally do at the Alpe. So that was quite interesting, first of all, but I really did find my rhythm. And as I was kind of ticking off the corners, I was like, okay, I only got 14 to go now, and this is quite a long corner. I was trying to take a tiny bit of rest actually on the corner points, but without losing too much time. But as you can see here, I'm not exactly losing a load of places. I'm definitely holding my own up the Alpe here, which is, I was so pleased about. I was really pleased because it was last time I did this in the Tour France. I was so disappointed, and I was so, I don't know, my whole body was just aching all over. So for me to kind of put this effort out already, with 10 corners to go at this point, I was super pleased. Also, what I was trying to do is if there was somebody up ahead of me, I was trying to do my best to slowly claw them back to me, which you can see that I'm doing here. And I surprisingly have caught and passed quite a few people. It's really, for me, the Alpe Du Zwift, all about how you pace it, and not going too hard out of the blocks, and just to really, just to really get into that rhythm. I'm no expert on Zwift, and I'm no expert on the Alpe Du Zwift especially, but I was really, at this point now, quite satisfied with how I was doing. Now you can probably see that my cadence did slip back a little bit, so I'm round about, well, I'd say probably 70, still up to about 80 here. But as a few more people start to kind of come past me, I don't know, I think maybe that might have been a little mistake. I did try and keep up with a few that tried getting past me, or that did get past me. But I was okay, you know. So, for example, tried to sit on that person. I couldn't quite do that at this point. And then a couple more try and come past me here. I try and stay with them, so I try and increase my watts at this point. And I just don't really like being overtaken, to be honest with you. But yeah, it definitely helped me up these final few bits. And it is 100%, I'm saying 100% a mental game up the Alp. Just to keep strong and to stay with it, I would say. The moment that you go, I can't do this anymore, it's just so difficult to come back from that point. So I had some decent music in, and I was thinking now, okay, you know, an hour and 43 minutes in, not long to go, come on, you can do this, Ollie, you can do this. I was really trying to encourage myself to do it, and to get to the top, and just to have the best result that I possibly can. And it's not like I'm not like I'm going for, well, I am going for GC, but it's not like I'm going to, you know, win GC. So for me, you know, my own personal goal to get into the top 50, that was enough to keep me going. As we finally crest here, now the actual finish line was just around the corner here, and I was, you can tell by my heart rate, I was still doing my best to try and come through and to get the absolute best time possible. But an hour and 50 minutes, especially after the week that we've had so far, was not, well, it kind of was fun, but it was an absolute relief to cross the line here. So not a complete disaster as we look at the general classification. I have slipped back slightly just outside the top 50. Now I'm 53rd. But I am very, very happy with the effort there. It could have gone completely wrong like last time. So yeah, happy with that one, and on to the next day really, which is not going to be an easy one. It is the Gran Fondo, so it's not quite 60 miles. I think it was 60 kilometers, but another very difficult race. And now this is the 6th race in a row. And it would actually mean for the first time that I've Zwifted every day in a single week, because I did actually do a little bit of cycling on the Monday before the race started on the Tuesday. But yeah, here we are. This was the Sunday 2 p.m. slot. I did this one. I just found that worked best for me over the weekend. And yeah, thankfully the rollouts as the week has gone on they've got a little bit slower, which I'm all up for, if I'm honest with you. I don't mind that at all. Now this course is quite punchy, so we're coming up the Zwift KOM first of all, and same thing as always. Didn't want to lose the front really, but I also didn't want to overdo it because my legs were hurting from the whole week, especially from the Alp yesterday. So I managed to crawl my way back onto the main pack here. And yeah, at the start of this race, I thought I was going to have a bad one because I could not get my heart rate up as we kind of rolled out. But as you can see, no problems here. We're back to normal. Now, as soon as we finish that climb, we're pretty much onto the volcano, which is, you know, I don't know, anything from 6 to 9 minutes, depending on how I feel, effort. So I just really wanted to make sure that I could stay with a group. It didn't necessarily have to be the front group, but I just wanted to stay with a group. And to be honest, a good tactic that I've had throughout this tour, I think, but tell me if I'm wrong, is staying with a group of my same or of the similar ability and not overdoing it and then not completely bonking. I don't think so far in this tour there's been a point where I've gone, I can't do it anymore, and I just completely dropped my watts to zero pretty much. So, you know, I was happy with this little group here. I'm surprised at how many watts I'm doing. I really didn't think I'd be able to hold this, especially after that sort of initial Zwift KOM. But still, you know, I've got my eye on what's up next. We've got to climb all the way up to the jungle and then all the way back out of the jungle. So, yeah, that's just something to keep in view for me as, you know, we come up this final little bit of the volcano. And, you know, I'm not too dissatisfied. Again, I'm actually quite surprised at how the legs are playing ball, shall we say. And yeah, there's a few that get off the front here, but I'm just in my head staying with the main bunch because I know that on the way down, we're going to group all together. And I think I did this in 8 something. maybe 8:22, which for me was pretty good, considering the week that I've had so far. I know, yeah, on the way down, just find myself a little group here, and yeah, managed to rest up a little bit before we get to the climb into the jungle. So this is kind of, I don't know, a fifth of the way up the epic KOM, I would say. And I made a little bit of an effort here to get to the front of the pack because I thought I might slip back. Didn't know, once again, how the legs were going to feel. And I know this might sound a little bit repetitive, but it's all about managing the effort. It's all about managing my effort. You know, also in the back of my head, I was pretty pleased that this was the last race before a rest day. So I knew that I could literally empty the tank knowing that I've got a day off tomorrow. As we get to this kind of little bit here, and yeah, I'm happy once again with the effort. It was at this point the legs probably felt the best they felt in the whole race. Heart rate was fine. I was pushing out quite a few watts. We're kind of catching these two that are up front here, doing a little bit of drafting at the same time. But that was the best my legs felt in the actual race there. And I was quite hopeful that actually I wouldn't let the group go coming out of the jungle, because that was my biggest fear, that, you know, I would perhaps bonk and not be able to stay with this group as we come on through. But we're an hour in now, so I know that we roughly got about, I don't know, 40 minutes left, 35, 40 minutes left. So, you know, at this point, I'm feeling that I can empty the tank. A couple go off the front here, but I'm just going to stay with this group. And you can see by the little graph down the bottom that it's okay. You know, it's pretty good power for me. Anything between, as I say, like 240 to 270 is good. Just doing my best to draft. I don't want to push the pace out on the front. I'm not going to make that mistake. Made that the other day. And yeah, as soon as it started, it was almost over, this jungle. Now, a lot of people don't like the jungle. I don't mind it. I really don't mind it. I think it's quite a cool little, I don't know, part to Watopia. I think if it wasn't there, everyone would miss it, you know? But yeah, we'll get to the top and nothing to worry about. You know, still in the pack. Managed to get a little bit of rest now. And yeah, there was this sprint. Now, I'm not really going for it, but I am putting down some watts to make sure that I stay with the front. But yeah, put down an initial surge, and then I'm just trying to hang on here because my legs are now pretty dead. Just not very good on the sprints. Just really not very good at sprinting and then recovering. But I do put in a little bit of effort here just to get back to the front of the pack, because it is splitting up a tiny bit. And, you know, I don't want to come, I don't know, 25 miles and not, or more than that actually, 30 miles and not stay with the group for the rest of the pack. So here we go. So we're coming up 2.4 miles to go. In my head, I am celebrating already because I know that we're almost near the end of the race. So happy days. We've got literally one more little effort to do. And I do make a little bit of a mistake here. I knew it was going to kick off, but I stood up on the bike around about this point to try and stay with the group. And then I sat down. I should have probably just done a set amount of watts all the way up, like I've been doing. But I didn't do that. I think I was just excited to finish because, you know, it's been 6 days of just absolute carnage on the bike. But I feel like my fitness has definitely improved over that period, and I'm happy with what I've done so far. As I said before, I'm never winning this. You know, I'm not the strongest person in this category. You know, no way. But to get anywhere near the top 50 for me would be a great achievement. So as we come up the top here, that is the last little climb for the day. And we've just got a little bit of 0.5 miles now to go to the finish line. And I am still giving it my all because I do want to make sure that I finish up as high as possible. But yeah, not too worried about the sprinting for the line, to be honest with you. I'm going to finish in this little group, and that is good enough for me. And after an hour and 41 minutes, we're just going to cross the line here. There we go. So the good news is I've moved back up in the GC, so I'm now 41st, which is amazing. I think 327 people, or round about that number, have actually started the tour, and I think there's still around about 100, maybe 200 that have completed all 6 stages, which is amazing. So really happy with that. The KOM classification, I am 78th, so once again, not terrible, but happy with that. Didn't do so badly on the Queen stage, which I was happy about. And the sprint classification, I'm in the top 100, which was a little goal of mine, so 89th. So, really happy with that. So it's been absolutely amazing so far. Thanks for being with me on this journey. 2 more to go, and I'll see you on the next one.